What's up, guys? This is Kephas. Welcome back, everyone, to WoW leveling, and as you can see, we are already level 99. On the way here from my garrison, I grabbed a couple treasures, and yeah, I've already gotten like half a level off camera just because I just didn't realize how fast I was going to be getting this experience. So the plan right now is I'm going to go through here. I'm going to get a bunch of treasures in Talador. I'm going to do the zone quests or whatever, world quests, whatever you want to call these things. They're really easy to do, and we'll get these, and then we'll move on to well, what's it called? The area above here, Gorgrond, that's what it's called. Gorgrond, we're going to move up there, and I gotta kill this thing. And I'll get a couple treasures there, maybe do some of the stuff, like some of the quests there, they're really easy. And yeah, we will probably, we will definitely, long before we even leave this zone, we will be 100. And we could probably move on the Legion right away. But I've heard people say that you can actually, stay here in Warlords up until 103. I don't know if that's true, but with the double XP, I'm really curious to try it. I want to see how far we can actually get. So just because it's so easy to do here, and we're going to be really strong, why not? Why not give it a shot? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to get as many treasures as I can. Obviously, I'm not going to find them all. If you ever see me skip past a treasure, and you might even see it on the screen, dude, cut me some slack, okay? I am so sorry. I am, of course, as you guys know, visually impaired, and that tends to happen, so I don't like to stick around too long trying to find one that I just couldn't find, so yeah, you know how it is. Okay, so anyways, but we'll try our best. I do, even with handy notes, I know that there's a chest nearby, and yet sometimes I still can't find it, so that's just the way it goes, man. It's crazy, but these world quests, or this is like, they weren't called world quests yet. They were called, like, I don't even know. Just, like, an area where you could do things. I don't even know. But, zone quests, I don't even know what they're called. But anyways, we're going to do those. They're really easy to do for the most part. I mean, if these guys would stand still, dang it, there we go. We'll finish this one up. I want to head south and kind of circle around, get whatever I can from down there, and then we'll circle back up, complete a couple other of these things, and then move on to the area above. Gorgrond is what it's called, yes. So I can never remember that. It's been a while, man. It's been a few years. It's crazy to think how many years it's been since, we were in Warlords territory. Again, one of the things I love about this place is the zones. I mean, the zones and the leveling experience are pretty good. Look at that. Wow. We are already level 100, you guys. We could leave right now. Just did a couple treasures and a world quest thingy. And now we're already level 100. We can leave right now. That's really crazy. But I want to see how much experience I actually get from picking things up here. I got 200,000 experience from doing that. That's a bit mental. Okay, I can't believe we're level 100. Yeah, I'm still getting 63,000. Look at that. I'm already a quarter of the way through this level as well. It's madness, okay? Yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going for as long as we can. I could probably even go to the Grand. I'm not going to do that, though. I don't like questing. That's one thing. I love the zone, the Grand, in this expansion. It's the one zone that inspires. I don't really like leveling up inspires either. Most people skip it for good reason. But, yeah, I don't know if I can find... Nope, it's right there. Haha, look at that. Grab that as well. See, that didn't give me any experience. I want a chip. Okay, now if they don't give me experience, then that'll be a pretty good sign to move on. But either way, we'll try our best, see what happens. It's really crazy how much experience I'm getting here. Unfortunately, I was hoping by the time we went to Legion, it would just so happen to be during a cool, one of those Legion invasion events, but unfortunately that's not the case. So if we do go to Legion, then we're just going to have to go there without one of those. We'll just quest in High Mall. Honestly, we'll probably go to High Mall. I always go to High Mall first. It's my favorite of the zones. Well, Stormsong Valley is not Stormsong Valley. That's BFA. Storm. I don't even know what it's called. Maybe it is Stormsong Valley. Either way, no, it's not. It's the one with the Vicruel. The one where the warriors go. Right? I forget what the heck the zone's called. But either way, I like to go. That's my favorite zone. Can't even remember the name of it. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm bad with names. I like to go there first, I like that zone, but I don't like the quest there. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find a treasure chest, and I'm getting sidetracked. You know what? I think that one's inside, so we're just gonna Ignore that. Keep going down this way. Like I said, some of these are kind of hard to find. I might even like pass right over it, but sometimes they're like in caves, you know, and it's weird. So I think all these are like in caves. Oh, whatever. We're just gonna keep going this way. We'll find whatever we can. I'm already at like, I mean, seriously, episode's done. I already got a level. No, that's what it feels like though. I can't believe I got like almost an entire level that quickly. It's really crazy. But yeah. So we still got. We also have. Oh, you know what? I even forgot to use. I'm so dumb. I have in my possession one of these flasks that gives 20% increased experience, which I don't even think I can use now because I'm level 100. Yeah, I can't use this. I forgot to use it. Oh well. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, I didn't need it in the first place, I guess, because I got so much experience. I would have gotten 20% more experience, though. That would have been pretty crazy. Okay, so what we have to do here is we got to kill a bunch of guys and get rid of these portals. And, oh my goodness, do we even need to get treasure chests at this point? These things are just, it's just crazy how fast you level up here. I'm, like, going nuts. But, yeah, so, anyway, yeah, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. But, you know, Speaking of like world quests and, you know, like how this was before all that happened and stuff like that, like thinking about, you know, as we get closer to Shadowlands, I get more and more people asking me like, you know, what do you think of Shadowlands? Are you excited? Are you know, what about this feature? Are you excited about this feature? Are you excited about that feature? You know, what are you most excited about? That kind of thing. And it's actually, it's a good question because I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not too hip to the jive, as the kids say these days. I'm not too informed on everything that Shadowlands has to offer. I'm kind of in the dark, and I'm partially doing that deliberately. You know, but I am kind of up to like a little bit of understanding on a couple of things. I know about covenants to a degree. I know that that's going to be the next system. I know about like a lot of the cool, like the zones look cool. Some of the new races they're implementing look really neat. You know, and just the concept of going to the land of the dead and all that kind of stuff sounds really cool. You know, and so like, but it makes me think about, you know, what excites me most about a new expansion and what excites me the least, I guess, or just doesn't really I wouldn't say excites me the least, but I'd say doesn't interest me as much. Because like when I think back about like to WoW, you know, I think back in the old days, it was like, you know, classic. This is how the game was. You know, the Burning Crusade, kind of the same thing. Here's a couple new ideas, you know, daily quests and whatnot. Then you know, Wrath, and then Wrath was like awesome dungeons and how they did all that kind of stuff. I really like that kind of stuff, and a lot of people did, you know. And then I look like beyond that, like, you know, where things have gone and you know, like implementing world quests, how world quests have kind of replaced dailies in a lot of ways, or at least, well, now with 8.3, they kind of augment, you know, they kind of go along with, you know, the dailies, which is kind of cool, I guess. You know, just different things like that. I just think about, you know, what do I like, what do I not like. I definitely like, you know, anything, like, I like having something to work towards. You know, I do like that. But it just depends on what I'm working towards and how interesting it feels, how, you know, fun it is. I like to unlock things, I think. You know, and then you gotta remember, I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who doesn't raid anymore, right? Like, I'm not into, you know, the gear grind as much. I do like to get gear. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just like, I don't, like, my goals these days when I play these games, I don't raid anymore. For one, I don't really have a raid team. I'm sure I could find one. But it's just a matter of like how I spend my time, and what I enjoy in the game. You know, like, I mean, I'm in a different place in my life nowadays. But I've been, like, my life's been going that way anyways for a long time. I really had fun raiding in a little bit in Legion. That was kind of the end of it for me. I did a lot of raiding in Wrath, a lot of raiding in Cataclysm and stuff like that. But I don't really come from the perspective of a raider like a lot of people might. You know, there's a lot of people that's their perspective. That's what, you know, and so they might have a different thought process. You know, that certainly, like, Mythic dungeons did not particularly. Jeez, these guys are like spawning like crazy. Oh, I died. Whoa. Okay, cool. I guess let's get back there. But you know, I didn't. Hey, console port. You want to? Hey, there you go. Cool. I don't come from that perspective anymore. I didn't really like Mythic dungeons. I really didn't. You know, they didn't really draw me. none of that stuff really did. But I liked in BFA. I was excited at first, and then I took a break, and I played on and off a lot. I did a lot of unlock. I wanted to unlock everything there was to unlock. Like I wanted to get all my classes leveled up. I wanted to do that. I had the guides to make. That's also why I tend to focus on beginner guides, because I kind of that's where I understand the game pretty well, of course, but I like to help people that are that are kind of in the same thought process as me. They're not really looking to be these crazy min-maxers and all that kind of stuff. They're just they're just playing for fun. Anyway, did I finish that quest and not even realize it? Sorry, I'm a little everywhere right now. I think I did. Okay, cool. Well, we can move on. I hope I did, because look at all the where I'm at on my level. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, dang it, you guys need to leave me alone. Jeez, I'm just trying to leave. These guys are tough. But I tend to focus on the outdoor content, I guess, is where I'm taking me 10 years to get to. I to focus on that kind of stuff. I liked unlocking all the different races. That was one of the big things for me. Unlocking flying. I like that kind of content. I think that I don't know why people don't enjoy that so much. And again, but I think it comes from people that are at a different that's not their goal. They don't particularly enjoy that, but to me, if people want that, not some people, not a lot of people, but some people don't want that in the game. I like that stuff. I like unlocking things. I like the feeling of unlocking important things in the game. I don't want to just go pay for it or whatever and then be done. This is another one that I'm having a hard time finding. So let's just go. Let's just move on. We got plenty to get. So I personally, I'm just going to go to the top and do the ones up there that I know of. So if you were to take away, say, for example, if you were to take away unlocking allied races through doing a quest line or whatever, or something, I would probably hate that, because I like to do that. Now, I don't particularly enjoy rep grinding, and I think that's what a lot of people's problem is. They just don't like the rep grind, and I get that. I'm not a big fan of it either. I'd rather do some other things, or at least if you're going to put the grind in there, then maybe do things that make it easier, or change it up the further up you go in the grind. So a good example is I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 alongside WoW. I like that game a lot, because I'm not focused entirely on WoW these days, because it's we're waiting for the next expansion, then I'll kind of switch back. But in Final Fantasy, you have this grand company or whatever that you it's basically your faction. You don't really get rep though. You get this currency that you then can either turn in to buy things like gear, or you can turn it in to upgrade your rank in that faction. And as you upgrade your rank each time, you unlock more things that you can do, more missions that you can do. You can have more of the currency that you're trying to unlock, so that cap goes up each time. And so you feel like you're progressively getting more and more powerful. And ultimately what you unlock through doing that is these squadrons, which are NPC party members. Whoa, that went away. Okay, there it is. I was like, what the heck? Which is really cool, because you can then use those NPC party members to do dungeons with them. And they're old dungeons, and their primary focus and their purpose is to level up alts. So, because in Final Fantasy, you don't have multiple characters. I mean, you could, but you can be every class, or in that case, it's called a job. You can be every class in on one character, so you can level up your other classes on that one character through the dungeons with your NPC party members, your squad. And that's really cool. That's really something fun to unlock. It's entirely optional. You don't even have to do it. But if you do, you have this amazing option to level up your other characters. I like that. Not to mention, you can send them out on missions to level them up separately, and they can bring you back things that you can use to help improve your squadron. There's a whole game there that is really fun. And like I said, it's entirely optional, but it is very helpful if your goal is to level up multiple jobs. So that's an example of what I like, the kind of content that I like. You know what I mean? And I think when you're trying to progress, it's fun to actually progress. like in a meaningful way, not like, okay, here's multiple tiers to this faction. Each time you don't really get anything valuable, but you go through these tiers because that's what you do. You get a couple of little things, but nothing crazy until you actually get to Exalted, right? And then you can just keep re-leveling that to get more crap, you know, stuff. Like, it's kind of cool, I guess, to keep doing it, but you know, it's not like, so that's kind of like, that's the kind of stuff I like. I wouldn't mind rep grinds if they were like, if you were feeling like it mattered, you know, immediately, like you were seeing like the benefits right away. I think rep grinds are good paired with other things. I think that in rep grinding, for example, in Wrath was the best, right? So like that's what I mean when I say, like, if you were to say pair, you know, rep grinding with running dungeons by putting a tabard on, it doesn't feel as bad. It's like you're doing multiple things. You're trying to achieve multiple goals. You know, it's not so bad when you do it that way. So, you know, saying all that to say, I'll get there eventually, like I always do. When I think about Shadowlands, like what excites me, what doesn't, I'm one of those types of people that I highly value gameplay. Gameplay is the most important thing to me. If the gameplay isn't there, then you don't have me. Doesn't matter how good the graphics are, doesn't matter how good the story is, it doesn't matter. If you don't have the gameplay, I don't care about your game. I can play a game with a generally terrible story if the gameplay is solid. A lot of people, that's not them. You know, a lot of people, they prefer the story over the gameplay. So everybody's different, to each their own and all that kind of stuff. But I think a lot of people prefer gameplay as well. If you're going to play a game for a long time, I think a lot of people care deeply about how much fun the game is to play. Because, like, in my mind, if I want a good story, I'll watch a movie. You know, if I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. If I want to play a game, I'm here to play a game, and I want that game to be solid. That isn't to say that the story doesn't matter, right? It's kind of like graphics. Same exact thing. Graphics to me are just how many colors you can fit on the palette, right? That's all graphics are. The more colors, the better the graphics, or whatever. You know, or more polys. It's all fine and good. Better graphics, it doesn't always make a better game. Obviously, it doesn't hurt it. It helps it. But you can have a game with amazing graphics and a decent story in it, and if the gameplay isn't there, you got nothing. At least that's how I see it, and I'm not the only person that feels that way. So, gameplay matters the most to me. Classic, for some reason, when I look at Classic, I think about, like, you know, I'm so excited about Classic. I enjoy Classic so much. Frankly, right now, I enjoy it a lot more than Retail. And a lot of that's because of the gameplay. Now, what's funny is that might sound absurd in a way, because, like, when you play Classics, like, honestly, auto-clicking, you know, like, auto-attacking ain't the most fun all the time. And it's true, it's not. Like, in a lot of ways, class designs in Classic aren't the best, okay? No doubt about that. But, for example, as a hunter, you know, having to, you know, take care of my pet, right? Having to form a bond with my pet. Having to keep up, you know, arrows. It's inconvenient for sure, but it's gameplay. You know what I mean? And it's stuff that I have to think about, keeps me on my toes. Not being able to just mow through everything. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. Although I did die earlier, which is kind of crazy. But, you know, just that kind of stuff, it adds a level of gameplay. It may not be the best, no doubt about that. It may not be the best, but at the time especially, it was amazing. And even now, to me, it's still pretty fun. Like, it's slow as heck. I mean, it really is slow. Like, sometimes it's unbearably slow, especially when all you're doing is auto-attacking. It's not, like, Classic ain't perfect, man. No doubt about that. But that doesn't, like, it doesn't mean anything. It just means, like, you know, of course, nothing's perfect, but it's still fun. And, you know, the dull moments are there for sure, but I still enjoy it, right? So when I look at, like, what do I enjoy? Like, I enjoy solid gameplay, okay? So what excites me about Classic are things, you know, that bring good gameplay. So, you know, I mean, let me get through this. I get excited about new zones. I get excited about new races, like allied races or regular races. I get excited about new classes, which we haven't had a new class since the Demon Hunter, which was only like 2 expansions ago, I guess. But still, you know, I don't think we're getting a new class in this expansion, unfortunately. I think it's the first time we haven't gotten a new class in, like, well, maybe not. I was thinking, like, no, it is. I think the first time we haven't gotten a new class in every other expansion, right? So that's kind of like, you know, because there's a lot of opportunities. New classes bring new gameplay, which is always exciting. That's always going to be a good thing, at least for a while. But those types of things that excite me, they don't last forever. And so Blizzard's always trying to, well, what's like, we can add those things in, right? We can bring in new classes, new races, new, whatever's, new zones, new dungeons, and that'll be really fun for a bit. Like a lot of times, I'd say the real excitement hits for the first month. After that, you kind of get into the groove, and you're either not hooked, so you quit, or you keep playing. If there's something else there, like that's kind of like I give it like 30 months at most, depending on how fast you are and how quickly you consume content. And then there has to be something else to keep you going, right? It's been a long time since WoW has done well, for me at least. Well, I guess Legion did a pretty good job. Like for the time, like they took the world quest idea, they ran with it, and it was pretty fun for a good while, I think. And then of course you had, we're already 37%. I think we can move on to Gorgon for a little bit and maybe get like 1 or 2 more levels, or maybe more efficient to move on. But I don't know. I'm trying to like 37% for that was pretty good, to be honest. So I want to go up here and see what I get for treasures, and then we'll just kind of go from there. I might be missing some here, but it's fine. So, like, Legion had the world quests, and they had the artifact weapon. BFA tried to do the same thing, right? Like, we're not going to have an artifact weapon, but we're going to have you grinding artifact power, right? The thing is, like, artifact power wasn't the fun part. Building out your artifact weapon was the fun part, and I think that's like one of the things. Like, so when you change it to a system where you're not doing something that's like a long-term investment and it's more short-term, and they tried to fix it with 8.2, I think, and it did get a little bit better, but generally speaking, and especially like you take tier sets away, I mean everything was like, there's not like a long-term goal here, right? There's nothing like, you're not going to work towards this for the long term. Like everything that I wanted to work towards was like unlocking this allied race, right? Which wasn't super long-term in a lot of ways, because it was just a rep grind. But I still like the feeling of I have to, I unlock this world, this race in the game, and then I can level them up if I want to switch to one, and that's kind of cool. Kind of like how it was in Final Fantasy. I think, at least me, a lot of people who think like me, they like that long-term investment that has you working towards unlocking something. That's a big hook, right? And if you make good gameplay that goes along with that, then you're doing great. Like, I think, like, the reason why I enjoyed Wrath of the Lich King so much is because, like, Wrath was pretty repetitive. You just ran the same dungeons over and over again, right? But the gameplay was, for me, it was a lot of fun, because like what made Wrath fun is I was, at first it was tough because I didn't have a group and I had to find groups, but eventually I would find groups, right? And then eventually I would start playing with the same people, and eventually those people became my friends, and eventually those people became my raid members, team members, right? And so we would run dungeons often. The thing that was great is, I'm running these same dungeons, right, over and over and over again. But having like a team, of friends, and we're talking every night, they kind of hid the repetitiveness of it. The people enhanced the gameplay. And then the game became fun, because here we are running these dungeons over and over again. We're getting better, we're getting more efficient, we're getting more gear, we're getting stronger, all that kind of stuff. And suddenly, like, we're running through these things, we're making friendships and that kind of thing, and we're flying through these dungeons now, and we're just hanging out, we're getting stronger and stuff like that. We're looking for the next raid, we're flying through the raid, getting better and better and all that kind of stuff. And having the friends helped. Well, when they took that away through the Dungeon Finder in a lot of ways, like, because you could still do it, but there was no need to, and so if people, like, if your old friends, say, would move on to something else, or things happen in their lives, you're trying to make new friends. Now it's harder to make new friends because everybody's just, silently grouping up in pugs and it's whatever. And now suddenly what was, like, the game, the repetitiveness really shines, right? That's, in essence, like, what hurt WoW for a lot of people. Maybe not everybody, because not everybody cares about that kind of stuff, but that's what hurt the game for a lot of people. So that's why, like, Cataclysm and, in a lot of ways, Miss was a little bit better. Cataclysm was rough because of that reason. I think that was one of the big reasons. You had really hard dungeons. People aren't grouping up as friends anymore. People aren't, trying to form any social structures at all. You're just grouping up with pugs, and it sucks, and it's toxic. Everybody hates everybody, and that was kind of how it was, and it sucked. No one liked no one liked Cataclysm because of that. So, hey, I'm getting attacked by everything. Here, feign death. Go over there. Yeah, and so like at least that's how. Well, maybe I can't say that about everybody, but that's how it definitely was with me. So, kind of moving on, to Mist, it got a little bit better, and then like eventually they did stuff in Legion that made Legion really good. This is getting crazy. I'm getting attacked by everything. Okay, we gotta kill this guy. Healing myself up, kind of focusing up right now. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you'd like, you can support this channel on Patreon. Links to all of this can be found in the description below. This is Kephas. Until next time.